Sorry, I have to check it's recording. Oh, it's not going well. Just come upstairs, seen the dogs weed up here. I've knocked a cup of water over. We'll try and carry on anyway. What was I going to say? Oh, if you're new here, my name's Victoria. I'm a homeschool or home educating, to fair, mum of 5 from England. This is my baby. He's number 5. He's 3 months old. I have never experienced hair loss after a baby before, except with my last baby. I had a mini fringe growing underneath this one, and I said to my mum, that's regrowth, isn't it? So I must have lost a bit of hair, but I didn't realise I had. I lost loads of hair yesterday. I was really upset about it. Good job, you're worth it, isn't it? So anyway, I want to give you some tips on my experience on how to homeschool with a newborn. Like I say, he's 3 months old now. This is the 4th time I've introduced a new baby when I've already got other kids, but it's the 3rd time I've really introduced a new baby while I'm trying to homeschool or home educate. The first thing I want to say is, you see people on these homeschool groups who are pregnant, and people have told them there's no way you can homeschool with a baby, there's no way your kids will be better off in school. Not true. You can totally still homeschool with a baby. I mean, you see all these massive families, don't you, on YouTube with like 12 kids, and the mum's got baby strapped to her and she's still homeschooling. You can do it. Homeschool is just an extension of parenting. You've got to carry on looking after your kids and carry on parenting, so you can carry on homeschooling. But here's my tips. Oh, you don't want it. This one I found the hardest, but that's because I was in slow labour for weeks before I gave birth, and it was a constant, if you've seen my pregnancy updates, it was a constant battle with the midwives my entire pregnancy. So by the time I actually gave birth I was exhausted. Oh. And I think it was, I think it was the day after we come home from hospital, me and the baby, we all got really ill with a bad cold, and I caught it as well. So it was just, plus we got a puppy. He's 8 months, but when the baby was born he was 5 months. So when with previous babies, I like to keep the baby with me the majority of the time, because I really feel that you know, we used to be one person, and I just like to keep the baby with me constantly as much as I can for that first year. But occasionally you have to put the baby down, because there's some things you can't do even if the baby's strapped to you. And with my other babies, there was always somewhere where I could put them downstairs just if I needed to. But with him, because my daughter's 4 and she's quite bouncy and she forgets, and she was bound to fall on him or something, and because we got this little puppy, there was just nowhere I could put him. Unless I asked one of the older 2 to hold him a minute, there was just nowhere to put him, and that made things a bit more difficult for me. And I was exhausted. But I'm out the other side now. I mean, I still get moments where I'm exhausted or I get overwhelmed and stuff, but I'm definitely out the other side of that homeschool phase. That newborn stage, sorry. So, so, these are my tips. The first one is, sorry, you're not settling, are you? What's the matter? Yeah. You see how it is? My first one is, if you're thinking of getting straight back into homeschooling in those early days when baby's completely new, forget it. It's not going to happen. It's really not going to happen. If you've got older kids like teenagers and they can work independently, then possibly. But if you've got kids that are younger than like high up teenagers, it's not going to happen. Forget it. Take a break and plan for that break if that makes you feel better. You know, make sure there's plenty of food in, and make sure there's things easy to get hold of for the other kids. You know, like Play-Doh in, and perhaps things you've already printed off, colouring sheets and stuff. Just make sure there's stuff in so that you can look after the baby. Sorry. This is a good example, isn't it? And do whatever you need to do to survive. I was in complete survival mode them first couple of weeks. I was worn out, and if it was a choice between getting up and doing something or having a nap, I was having a nap, because I was exhausted and I didn't want to get to the point where I was dangerous with exhaustion. If anybody wants to help, let them. My mum come twice. She comes anyway, but she come twice specifically just so I could have a nap, and I was so grateful. I really was so grateful. But not everybody even has that, so you've just got to look after yourself. And it's such a special time, and even though it can seem like it's going on forever and you're never going to sleep again and what have you, it is a really short time. Already I'm thinking, God, that seems, where did that go? Where did that stage go? And I'll blink and he'll be one and he'll be walking, and homeschooling with a toddler is a completely different ball game. That's a completely different video. So, and the other way you can help yourself, so look after yourself, survival mode, don't worry about anything else, just make sure you're alright and you're functioning. If anything's easy, just go for the easy option. It's only for a few weeks, even if it means ready meals or whatever. Do what you need to do. Get baby wearing, save my life, I tell you. If you can have the baby strapped to you and your hands are free to do all the things, do it. And so like I say, forget about homeschooling. Life is educational. Having a new baby in the house, and that mum needs looking after giving birth, and this is how you look after a newborn baby, and must be careful of the baby and stuff like that. This is how I feed the baby. It's all educational. They're soaking it up. So don't worry about that. But if you do feel like, oh, I feel so bad we're not getting anything done, which I did, even though this is my 5th baby and I know it doesn't matter, I still felt that guilt. You know, I put on Cosmic Kids Yoga Forum on YouTube so I could sit on the sofa with the baby, and I put on documentaries and what else did I do? We watched period dramas, and I sat reading them a book, because you can do that while holding a baby. I can read. Sat reading them books, and sat holding the baby one hand while we played with Lego or Play-Doh or stuff like that. So we still did things, just not as much, nowhere near as much. And the amount of time it's going to take you to recover depends on what kind of labour you had, what kind of mood you're in. Same as I kept randomly bursting into tears, even up to a couple of weeks ago. What was I going to say? Hello. So if you'd have had and it took me up until a couple of weeks ago to get fully back in some kind of routine, because Christmas hit and that messed it up again as well, and none of the kids are badly affected by the fact that we was totally out of routine for a few weeks, a few months even. It's going to be okay. But once you pass them sort of sleepy newborn days where you really are in survival mode, start things gradually. Don't just start up with a full homeschool day. Start things gradually, like get one thing done with them, like the reading done, and do that for a week, and then add something else, and then add something else, and add something else. Do it when the baby's happy, or do it when the baby's sleeping. If the baby's stressed and screaming, and you're trying to work out a maths problem with your son, it's not going to work. So if you have to abandon it. If you have to do it later. So you've really got to pick your times. Pick the times that are best and more effective for you. But the most important message I can give you is that it doesn't matter. That stage is just going to go like that, even though it doesn't feel like it, and then you'll be back to normal again. Hey. But there's so many things you can do while sitting down. Reading, listening to them read, drawing, colouring, all that lot. So, hello. And when you're able to go out and about again, when you're able to go out and about again, you'll start to feel a lot better. When you can get to a stage where baby doesn't need feeding every 10 minutes, and you can put them in the pram or strap them to you and go for a walk, that's the beginning of things going back to normal, I think. You just got to be flexible with it. The best piece of advice I've ever had about introducing a new baby to a family, which is the same for homeschooling, because it's just family stuff into homeschooling, was from Tanya Sullivan from Larger Family Life, and she said, what do you do what do you do to prepare the family for a new baby? Nothing. She says all this trying to prepare the kids for a new baby and making a massive thing of it, and they're going to be jealous, and then when the baby comes, going, do you love the baby? Do you love them? Do you? Don't be jealous of the baby. Don't be jealous of the baby. All that makes it a huge thing. Kids soak stuff up. If you're making it a huge thing and making it a problem, it's going to be a huge thing and going to be a problem. If you just bring the baby home and act like the baby's always been there, then it's going to run a lot smoother. It really is. And so don't stress about it and make it a big thing, because that's going to make it a big thing. You've just got to go with the flow and relax a little bit. And if you've seen the videos of when he was newborn, I was a mess. Absolute mess. And I've got through the other side, so you will get through the other side. The most important thing is that you can sit and cuddle and snuggle and feed your baby, and that everybody else is happy and feels safe. And if that means sitting down and watching films for a few days, and that's fine. That's what you're gonna do, isn't it? That's what we're gonna do. That's what we're gonna do. And also, if you have older kids and they want to help, I mean, obviously how supervised they are and stuff like that, it depends on the age of the children and how responsible they are. But if they want to help, let them help. The first thing that people pull out the bag as criticism for large families is, oh, the older ones end up bringing the younger ones up. The older ones end up looking after the younger ones. It's disgusting. Rubbish. I don't agree with older siblings bringing up younger siblings, but if they want to help, let them help. Apart from the fact they're learning really good life skills, childcare, compassion, how to look after a baby, how to hold a baby, all that kind of thing, that's going to help with, it's not only going to help you, it's going to help with the bonding process. Beanie, my oldest, who's 11, won't hold the baby. Held him a couple of times when he was born, but I won't hold him because he's scared of breaking him, basically. And that's okay, he doesn't have to. But my 9-year-old Beanie loves holding him, and he's got such a good bond with him. And earlier, he held him and was sat talking to him, making him giggle. And because he did that, I was able to brush my hair and empty the washing machine. It was amazing. So, yeah. They're my tips. Chill out, doesn't matter. It's all going to be fine. Just do what you can do. That's all you can do. Just do what you can do. And this stage will soon be done. And that'll be sad. You'll miss that. You'll miss it as soon as it's gone. And then you might be mad like me and start thinking about another one. But you can do it. Don't think, oh, I can't homeschool because I've got a baby. It's just another phase in life. Isn't it? Yes, it is. And look how beautiful he is. Look how worth it is. They got grump on. Hey.